Hello, my Facebook loves. How are you? Good to see you. The live stream works. That means we can go live on Instagram. What is going on, everyone? I am back. With the tape. To tape my phone to my iMac so that I can live stream in both places. And I don't know, you know how annoying it is when you just lose the little thing and you have long nails? Listen, we're gonna make it work. All right, so we're gonna be talking about unconventional ways, secrets to unconventional networking to attract premium clients and opportunities. And I'm gonna talk about this in person, things that you can do in person, but really the principles actually function for virtual rooms. Virtual rooms meaning social media, meaning any room that you join, any networking room that you join. This is gonna be you're gonna wanna grab your notebook because this is gonna be super juicy. I have a comment saying the new lighting in your home is everything. Thank you. It's literally my favorite. I am no longer available for you guys getting the view of the ocean. That's cute, but it's just too much lighting that needs to be set up. So I decided I just don't want my eyes to be burned by lighting anymore. And I'm just gonna let you guys see. I'm gonna have a whole thing here, a whole setup. It's gonna be really beautiful. But for now, you get a beautiful white wall. All right, so here's what I want to tell you. That the first thing that I want to tell you is that what I'm going to talk about today is unconventional, because these are not common ways that feel icky in order to attract clients when you go network in person, right? This is not here is the tactic for you to just go and get clients at a networking event. It's unconventional because it's how I've been able to create opportunities, get in rooms with people that I literally admired and thought wow, they're above me, which is a mentality we're going to talk about, and they became just my peers, my friends. We just hang out. Is all normal. And so what we're going to talk about today is we're going to cover the tactical aspects, we're going to talk about the energetic aspects, we're going to talk about what is the mindset and energy around becoming magnetic in person when you walk into any room, and whether it's online or not, whatever it is, how do you show up? What are the thoughts and feelings that you get to cultivate and that need to be shifted in order for people to come to you, people that you admire, to be you seem interesting, I want to get to know you, I want to talk to you. That's the first thing. We're also going to get really practical, and I'm going to give you things, because I've been asking you guys before my live streams to send me questions that you have about this topic, and people sent some questions, and so you sent some really good questions. One of them was ways to initiate a conversation. Give me a yes in the comments if you want to know that. Give me a yes in the comments if you want to know that. What are the yes if you how do you initiate a conversation, whether it's somebody that you know or that you don't know, maybe somebody that you admire at an event, or maybe just random people that you don't know. How do you initiate a conversation? What questions to ask during if you're in an interaction. Also, I want to talk about something that people don't really know how to talk about, which is how to exit a conversation. If you're not feeling it, if you're this is not the vibe, what do you get to do, right? How do you exit the conversation? And then another practical question that came in that was so good was how to craft a call to action during the conversation to wrap things up. So I love you guys sending questions before the live streams, because it really gives me direction around what you guys want to know about. So give me a yes if you are ready to get all of the juice. Yes, us introverts need it. So I'm actually curious, if you're an introvert, what are the things that, what are some of the things that come up for you when you think about networking events? What are the biggest fears? And if you're not an introvert, I actually want to know, this is the first thing that I wrote down in the notes. What are some things that you totally hate about networking in person? I want to hear in the comments. I want to hear what you guys have to say, because I want to also tailor what I'm going to tell you to coach you through it right now. So how do you feel when you walk into a room? What is the main thought or feeling that comes up for you? Okay, so I'm gonna stumble all over my words. Not knowing what to say or getting awkward. Okay, amazing. What else? Give me one more. I relate to all of this, by the way. Like I remember when I used to join network, like just enter any room, right? Like whether I was networking or not, just any room. I used to feel so small. I used to feel like, oh my God, everyone here is better than me. You know, everyone here, it's like, it's just cooler than me. And like, I don't know how I'm gonna hold myself in the room. And I would just shrink. And I'm a pretty like confident person, an outgoing person, I would say, but I am not the type that is just gonna be like butterflying around a room. Like when it comes to networking, I just shrank. Okay, you guys are saying fear of looking stupid. Everyone there isn't really there to listen, but rather project. They're gonna wonder what they think when I'm even doing there. Yes, so good. Okay, so I just want to tell you that I totally get it because I used to be that way. I used to feel like, first of all, everyone was better than me. Number two, I would start disqualifying people. Tell me if you do this. If you go to a networking event, you start looking at people and start disqualifying them based on the way they look, or qualifying them based on the way they look, or just talking to people who are next to you or like in your proximity that feel kind of comfortable, right? Like feeling like, okay, I'll just talk to this one person. Another thing that I used to do was pressure myself to make a list of 10 people. I go to some networking event and be like, I really want to connect to these 10 people, or at least I want to make 10 good connections that I feel are going to move my business forward. Like, what the actual fuck? Like, how do you feel when you think that, by the way? How do you think when you feel that? Give me the feeling. I need to make 10 connections in order to feel like this was worth my time. Give me in the comments, what is the feeling that you get? No way you felt that. I did. I actually did feel that. I felt that. I felt like totally, like you guys think you see me online and I'm just all comfortable or whatever. But like I remember going to women's groups and mastermind groups and or just any mastermind and thinking like everyone here is smarter than me. And I don't know what to say. I don't know who to talk to, who's gonna come talk to me. Like, I don't know. It was so much pressure, right? Yeah, the feeling is needy and also pressure, right? Like you go there and you show up needy and you feel pressure, and then it's just like this transactional energy, right? Yeah, exactly, Melissa. You're saying pressure on yourself at the same time you shorten yourself. Exactly, right? So the mentality that I want to speak to the energetics of this first before we get into the practical aspects where we talk about how to initiate a conversation, all of that. But the mentality that I want you to shift into is we're not going to any kind of networking event or a virtual room anywhere with the mentality of what can they do for me? How can I get something out of this? How can I get something out of this room? That already puts you in grasping, needy, grabbing energy, and that's what makes you feel awkward. That's what makes you feel like, because we don't like taking things from people. I mean, like it doesn't feel good to take things from people, right? It's like we feel already like the transactionality of it. Is transactionality a word? It is a word today. So instead of thinking, what can they do for me? I want you to start thinking, what can I do for them? I have so much value to share. I'm always provided for. I'm always guided to enter the right rooms. So of course I'm here for a reason, and I don't need to control exactly who I meet or what I meet, because I'm going to allow them to come to me, and I'm going to follow my intuition and follow the internal like guidance of who do I get to spark a conversation with, right? It's so much more lighter, and it's so much more delicious to engage in a conversation. Oh my God, my phone is literally, you guys, I need to get this tape working because the phone is gonna drop at any moment from my laptop. So the conversation is less what can they do for me and more what can I do for them, because I believe when I walk into any room, I'm amazing. I have so much value to offer, and I'm always guided to the right people to meet. I don't have to force this, and it doesn't have to be a certain number of people that I gotta meet. Like I let go of all the pressure of all the things that I think I need to do. I have a question here. Can you please share some conversation starter tips? But here's the thing with these questions, that you guys ask practical questions of like, tell me what to say. Tell me what to say. And like none of that, whatever I tell you right now, it's not, I love the question and I'm here. Like, give me all the questions. But I'm going to coach you and I'm going to tell it, I'm going to give it to you straight. These questions that I got also sent in is like, what are the questions to ask in order to start a conversation? Even if I tell you the perfect words to say to start a conversation, if you're feeling small, if you're feeling like you don't belong in that room, if you're feeling, what can this person do for me? If you're feeling pressure and neediness to grow your business, to get clients, to make this worthwhile, how do you think the other person is going to experience your words? Can somebody tell me in the comments? How do you think somebody's going to experience your perfect words that I'm going to give you? I am the wordsmith master. I'm like, I can give you the perfect words to say. But if you are not feeling abundant, if you are feeling graspy, what is gonna come? What is the other person going to experience? Yep, the energy around it is the most important thing. But tell me more, Lisa. Okay, Lisa's saying desperation. And deeper than that, you know what they're gonna feel? They're gonna feel disconnected. They're not gonna feel engaged. Why? Because you are thinking about you saying the right things to say. What do I say? What do I say? What do I say? And this is the mentality of what can they do for me? This is self-centeredness, self-focus, right? And what we wanna do when we go into any room is the opposite, is, I wonder what can I do for these people? How can I support here? How can I offer value? How can I make friends? How can I create like a genuine friend, like a connection, like a partnership? Not like, so what do you do? Tell me what you do. Okay, great. Okay, this is not gonna work for me. All right, well, nice to meet you. Ciao. Like, this is not the vibe. They will feel, I have a comment here saying, they will feel like you're just there to get something from them. Exactly, you nailed it. So I get that your brain wants the perfect questions to say, and I'm gonna give you some, but I want you to know that it's not about that. This is what I coach my clients inside the Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind around. It's really their ability to become somebody who just naturally magnetizes people because of the way they think about themselves, because of the way they show up. Not because they're saying the perfect words. Even in their copy is the same thing. It's not about saying the perfect words. It's about who you are being and how it feels for you to say those words. A lot of my clients don't even write the perfect words, and their message is not perfectly clear, and they still sell out their events and sell out their programs without having to try so hard because of the way that they show up and how they feel, okay? Another comment, getting versus pouring into people. Exactly. Okay. So the first thing that I had to shift, and I'm gonna end this in terms of the energetics because I have things to say about the practical, okay? First thing is that you wanna think about yourself as, I belong to this room. This room belongs to me. I belong here. I have value to offer. Everyone here is a peer. So I'll give you an example. I walked into a mastermind or like this group called Baby Bathwater, and everyone in Baby Bathwater, this is like the top entrepreneurs, like the coolest people, and I always wanted to belong there, and I was like, oh my God, like I want to be part of this room. And my first, like I really had to realize that I'm just like everybody else there. I'm not any different than anyone there. And when I walked into that room, instead of, I paid $10,000 just for like a couple, like 2 days. When I walked into that room, I was feeling, the first time I was like, oh my God, I had a panic attack. I'm like, I don't want to leave my hotel room. Like there's everybody knows each other. Like it's just not a good idea. What the fuck am I doing here? Right? And then I had to really coach myself to remember there's a reason why I'm here. I belong here. I was guided to be here. I have value to give. And I'm a dope person. I'm an epic human being. Like I'm just get to be me, and people just will get to enjoy my presence. I just get to be my natural, enjoyable presence, just the way that I am with a friend, just the way that I am with maybe a team member, somebody that you feel comfortable with, or like an already existing partnership that you have, right? It's just about letting yourself be you, way more than what are the words to say. So I went out there and I was like, I'm actually not even gonna try to get clients and make like JVs and partnership connections, right? Because we go with that mentality, which is so transactional, and that's what fucks with your vibe. It fucks with your energy because now you're trying to get something, and this phone is gonna fall off. I'm like, I keep taping it. It's gonna fuck with your energy. So what do we do instead? I decided that I was just gonna I was just gonna go to the beach. I was gonna hang out, and I was just gonna feel like I was just gonna chat with people and be like, hey, I'm curious, what do you do? What brought you here? Like, what inspired you to come here? How did you make it here? Like, how did you find out about this event? And I just let them talk, and I let them talk, and I let them talk. And I'm like, oh, interesting. Like, where are you from? Oh, interesting, cool. And I find points of connection on a personal level, that is not like, hello, what do you do for a living? Oh, okay, who do you help? Oh, I wonder if there's any partnerships and collaborations available here. Like, oh my God, that is not the vibe. And it's not a problem if like there are some times where you just approach it directly. If this is the kind of event that like maybe you go, that's the way. But for me, I just started talking to people and I'm like, oh, I might buy things from this person. You know what I mean? I started thinking that way. So thing number one, when it comes to saying the right words, is you gotta listen more than you talk. Ask questions about the person. Be genuinely curious about this human that is maybe sitting in front of you, next to you, and start listening. Cool? So like, curious, what brought you here? How do you find out about this event? Find points of connection with the person. Cool? Then you can ask like, what do you do? Simple, right? Like, so what do you do? Who do you help? Like, what are the people that you love helping with? Or what kind of business do you have? Super casual. What kind of business do you have? I'm super curious to learn more. Obviously, everybody there. I need to secure the tape, you guys. Oh my God, this is so funny. Obviously, people are there is because they want to potentially grow their business. So it's fine if you start a conversation around business, but like if you can be in the conversation on a personal level, it's going to be amazing. People are going to be way more open to you. Love that opening question, LOL. Those networking events really trigger the inner child. Yeah, exactly. Like the inner child feels like, oh my God, who am I to be here? I don't know, we don't belong, all of the things, okay? Now you get to step into the identity of who you actually are. And who you actually are is somebody who has a lot of value to offer. Just your presence is enough. And you don't have to have any accolades or like achievements in order to create connections with epic people. Like another example I'll tell you. I don't know if you guys know a woman by the name of Marisa Peer. And she created a modality called RTT, Rapid Transformation Therapy. She's huge in the UK, all over the world. She's trained, at this point, I don't know, millions of people in her modality. And she's part of a group that I belong to. And so she's part of it. And I had to stand on the microphone and speak to a room full of people like her about like something that I'm doing in my business that they thought that was really cool, like selling without sales calls. And I'm like shaking, right? And I totally fucked up what I said on the microphone. Like I looked like I was nervous. I was like, guys, I'm nervous. My knees were shaking. I totally messed up the whole moment. But then I got myself together and I got my bag. And you know what I did? There was like a pizza networking thing at the end of the day or whatever, pizza, drinks or whatever. And I decided to make it look like nothing had happened. And I just started talking to her as if nothing had happened. Nothing had happened. And I was just asking her, I love your jacket. I love this. I love that. And then she was like, oh my God, I love your outfit. Oh my God, I love this. And I treated her like she was a regular human. So what does that tell you? If you are in a room of people that maybe you admire or somebody that you're like, oh, I would love to connect with this person, the mentality is the same. I am valuable. I have things to share that would be valuable. And they are just another human being. They're just another human being just like me. They've probably been to more events than me. They've probably spoken to on more stages than I have, of course. So what? I get to offer value too, and I get to treat them like a regular human being. So you don't fangirl all over them. You don't go and be like, oh my God, Mary, oh my God, I love your work. So, oh my God. Like, no, treat them like a regular human first. People are humans first, business owners second. So go with that vibe within yourself. Like, you don't need to be fangirling, or also you don't need to be putting people in a hierarchy of, oh, who's better, who's worse. Because this is the second point that I want to make around what to say. If you're feeling like this person next to you that you're talking to totally doesn't have like any connection at all with what you do, you still can treat them kindly as a human being and have a conversation with them that you would enjoy, and then know, okay, cool, like I want to go meet somebody else. And you can ask, like, okay, so I'm curious, like, so I help coaches clarify their message to attract premium clients. So I would say, I'm curious, is there anyone that you know that would be interested or that would be curious about partnering or creating some kind of live stream or creating something to support more coaches that to clarify their message? Is there anyone that you have in mind, or is there anyone that you could connect me with? You can make that request, right? If it's something that you want to ask directly. Or you can, and if they're like, no, you can be like, okay, great. I would love to exchange contact information and stay in touch. Because I'll tell you why. Even if it feels like it's not going to make a difference in your world right away the next day, that person could have a friend 5 days from now or a month or two from today, and they will remember you as somebody who was kind and who was generous with your presence, and they will maybe introduce you to somebody who will become a partner eventually, right? Like, it's happened to me so many times. People that I met that were not the right person for me to meet, to be as a partner, as a JV partner or whatever, they ended up having me in their mind and introducing me to somebody that they met later on, and then we connected. So what are you guys getting from this? I'm gonna scroll through the comments and then just get what you're saying. Love Marisa, love her. They're just another human being, because we often put people on what they have materialistic, yes, on a pedestal, exactly. So like, unconventional tip is don't fangirl over people. Just be like, I'm a human being, you are a human being too, and we are good, and we can just like jam and talk about life, and like that's it. We don't have like there's just so much that you could have in common with Marisa Peer that is not anything to do, has nothing to do with her wealth. You know what I mean? Like, the last thing that I talk about is business with her. You know what I mean? We talk about Chanel bags and like, I don't know, Venice. Like, I don't know, it's just random clothes. Like, I asked her like what kind of jacket, like I just treated her like a regular human being, and then we started creating partnerships. Okay. So another thing that another secret or conversational or tip that you can write down for you in your conversation. So when they ask you, so what do you do? I want to tell you this directly. You want to have a clear thing that you say. And this I can help you with, because this is what we do in my programs. I help you clarify your message so that you can attract premium clients. If you don't know what to say, then this is something that you can fix, that you can work through, and I can support you with that, because it is important to be succinct and concise in what you say, so that people immediately know, oh, okay, this is what you do. So when people ask me, so what do you do? I'm like, I help coaches clarify their message to attract premium clients. And they're like, oh, interesting. How do you do that? And I'm like, well, I have a method. I have a 3-step method. And I have helped hundreds of coaches at this point do that. And so if I'm talking to somebody who could be, let's say, a potential coach, let's say, that would be a client, there are so many ways that you can continue this conversation, or that you can actually have, and I'm just gonna look for it because I actually teach this in my program. Let me just give it to you here. So I would say, yes, This is actually a 3-step method, and I'm super happy to, this is ways in which my clients have grown. So like I have one of my clients, Julie, who went through the method and actually went from $170,000 in a year to $1 million the next. And all we did is we helped her clarify her message. It was amazing. Another client, Kate, and I would just give examples of clients. So I don't even tell them what I do and the mechanics of it. I just talk about my clients and I talk about how I've helped them, right? And I talk about my client's transformation, and then I would say, like, if you're curious at all, I'm super happy to give you a marketing makeover session, which is basically a consult call, a call where I take you through a process where we identify what are the areas of your message that could be up leveled, and see if that can help you attract caliber clients. So just let me know if we can schedule a call if that feels good for you. Da-da! Those are the words that you can say right there, right? Right there. What do you think the person is going to say to that? Can somebody tell me in the comments? I know all of you who join, we are talking about unconventional ways to attract premium opportunities and attract premium clients. And if you missed this live stream, go watch the replay because you want to take notes. So good. Okay. So I'm getting, oh my God. Exactly. Oh my God. Yes. Tell me more. Do you see? That's what people are going to tell you. Ooh, tell me more. Right? But you're not going to sit there at the event and tell them everything. I'm not going to run them through a whole 45-minute rundown because that is my sales process. That's what I would do on a call with somebody. Right? So what I would recommend that you do, and this is the answer to the practical question, is, okay, great. If they say that sounds amazing, like I would be super curious, and I would say, okay, cool. Let's get it on the calendar before we go, because I know that after this, when we walk out, we're going to move on with our lives and we're not going to remember. So I would pull out my phone and I would not just get their info, but I would book the call on the calendar right there and then. And this is a mistake a lot of people make when it comes to networking. They don't pull out their phone and create an event, like make an invitation for, okay, what does Friday 9 a.m. work for you? Does 11? Most people leave it to follow up with all their connections. It was so nice to meet you. And all of that, people ignore those messages, right? People ignore that. Okay. Give me your info so that we can connect. Okay, so that's fine. But again, the idea is not to just connect. The idea is to book the call on the calendar. Yes, I love that. Let's get it on the calendar. So good. Locking it right away. Calendar. Yes. Locking it on the calendar, right? That's easy, simple. And you can be like, okay, it was so nice to meet you. I'm so excited to connect. I'm going to go and like meet other people. So like, I'm excited to chat with you. Goodbye. And then you move on. And then you move on to the next person. You know what I mean? Like you move on to somebody that feels good to talk to. Or you can ask that person, like, is there anyone here that you know that might be a good person to meet? Like, I'm super curious. Simple, right? Like super, it's like, it's all about being casual. It's all about being you. It's all about feeling comfortable and just not making it this big scary thing. Like being just like you, super chill. Super chill is the way, okay? Anything else I want to say before we wrap up and summarize? Okay. So, where did it go? What not to do, we already talked about it. Making a list of people, putting pressure on you, making it a numbers game, leading with what you do, and making it about you in the conversations. Like, if you make it about you, people are going to be bored and they're going to be like, oh, this person, okay, thank you, nice to meet you, bye. No. Ask more questions. The more, like, the way you initiate the conversation is like all about them, 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 all about them. Another thing is that you might not even, like, at this point when I go to networking events, I don't even try to be like, okay, let me just go meet the right people. I just go out to lunch with whoever, I float, I relax because I know that I'm gonna be connected. I set an intention before the event and I'm like, not Jesus, but God, angels, universe, whatever you want to call it, right? Like, allow me to connect with the right people, like guide me to the right people that I'm meant to meet. And like, I just relaxing knowing that I'm going to sit down next to the right person, or if I don't sit down next to the right person, then whatever, like I will meet them at some point. And I'm going to give you an example. I went to an event in June and there were like maybe 150 people, 300, I don't know, 200 people. And I just connected with somebody at lunch, or somebody was sitting next to me. We didn't really talk that much. But then on the way to the airport, it just happened that there were three of us that share a cab. And they knew that I was, kind of like a coach that helped with messaging. And one of those ladies, and she started asking me questions. She's like, so what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And I just started giving her like free, like just what I would do. I'm like, I don't think that you should do an 8-week course. I think that you totally go premium from the beginning. Like I just gave free value. Like literally, I was just basically telling her my secrets like from the get-go on the way to the airport. And that woman ended up becoming a VIP for Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind twice. And she's paid $20,000 each time. So she's paid me $40,000. And all I did was just give her so much value. And I didn't even expect her to become a client at all. I was just like, I'm just going to share. I'm going to share what I would recommend. And I just shared like casually in a conversation. So when you are generous in your giving, right? People remember you because people are so skimpy when it comes to, offering value. Like I am so happy to offer value, and I'm so happy. I'm doing it right now. I'm giving you guys, this is literally straight out of like one of the modules of my program in Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind. Is one of the pages. I have like so much more in the Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind, where I teach you how to clarify your message, how to elevate the quality of clients you attract, how to grow your audience online and offline, but also how to take the person from like being a stranger to being a client in a really elegant way, and then how to help your re-enrollment process. I just like have so much in that program. Is like literally the last marketing mastermind you will ever need. And by the way, if you are curious, I definitely invite you to apply right now, because you would get the early bird price, which is $1,000 off, and you get access to all the modules right away. So everything we're talking about here is broken down with even more detail, with all the how-to-dos inside of the program. And we've had so many testimonials. Check out the link in my bio. Literally hundreds of people have gone through that program, and they have created everything from like charging $83 an hour to having their first $179,000 client, from charging $2,000 for their programs to charging then $10K, to making $10K months, to having their biggest leaps. Like they go from like, oh, I've been charging like $5K for my package, to now they're consistently enrolling 10K clients. Like we go premium. And I don't just teach you the tactical stuff. I give you the energetics, I give you the mindset, I give you the emotional support, so that your inner child actually is on your side through all of this, because this is an internal journey and an external journey. And what makes it different is that I cover both the tactical, very practical aspects, and then also the internal world that you need in order to hold more wealth, to hold more clients, to be a coach that's consistently booked out and who has spaciousness in their business. When is the next mastermind? In June. So applications start now. We start in the first week of June, and this is the best time to join. I tell you, people who enroll months early have a lot more time to sit with the content. And so by the time that we start the coaching, they've already got clients. They already are familiar with the content, and it's just like in their bones. So the coaching is way more effective. The people who have had the biggest transformations are the ones that actually join way before it begins. People who leave it to the last minute, they're catching up a little bit more, which is not a problem, but don't be the one that waits. Cool? I can't wait to work with you in June. The modules are already making my business grow. Yes! I'm so excited. I'm getting a lot of value from this live session alone. Yes, when is the next mastermind? Again, in June. So, okay, my loves, that's what I have for you today. Tell me how you feel about what we talked about. Give me a feel. How do you feel? What are your thoughts about this live stream? Anything that comes up for you about networking? What are some of the breakthroughs that you had? What feels really delicious? Do you feel delicious? Do you feel like you had a little breakthrough? Tell me how you're feeling. I'm gonna check Facebook too, because I actually didn't really check anything that was happening on Facebook last week. There were so many questions. Okay, amazing. Perfect. Thank you. You're so welcome, Lisa. So happy to be here with all of y'all. And again, if you got, oh, and one thing I want to say, by the way, if you're not into group programs, or if you want something more personalized and you want personalized support, and you are already at the point where you are making more like $20,000 a month and you really want to scale to, let's say, $100,000 a month, that is something that I have helped dozens of clients do. So I am actually doing something special and opening private coaching for the first time in 2 years. And already yesterday somebody claimed one spot, and I'm only opening it up for 4 people. So if you want private coaching, if you're curious about how I can help you with elevating the quality of clients you attract, having direct access to me in order to be able to have like literally somebody in your corner who can support you with both the energetics, the practical, the strategy, your launches, your copy, and everything that is required in order for you to elevate as a leader and really create the internal operating system that can help you just scale with so much more ease in your business. Because I have been where you're at, where you're like at 20K or like consistent 15K months, 20K months, and then you're like, I'm maxed out either energetically or in my spacious, in my space in my calendar, and I want things to feel lighter, and I want to know how to scale without any complexities and in a really simple way. And this is especially great for you if you already have an audience that like is buying from you, but you really want to know how to leverage that in a more easeful way. So if you are that kind of person, or if you're curious about private coaching and you're like, well, I'm not at that level, but I want that quality of support, like I want high touch, send me a message just saying private coaching, and then we're going to do a little bit voice message back and forward and see you're a good fit. Private coaching, says Melissa. Amazing. Send me a message because these comments are going to disappear, Melissa. And so make sure that you send me a DM. All right, my loves. I love you all so much. Thank you for all the love. So many breakthroughs, feeling deliciously elevated. Thank you. I can't wait to work with you in June. Amazing. All right, my loves. Love you all so much. And I will see you next week with another